In a perfect world, wave our magic wand, flexibility in how we deploy capital would be good too, right? So it's not that rigid, which also always irritated me when there's times to do budget cuts. They say everybody's got to cut 10%. Well, not every business unit should cut 10%. Some business units, that's going to cut them off at the knees. They need that. Others have a little bit extra they can give. So flexibility, deploying capital, and then getting the right people. And so when we think about right people, is it kind of openness to change? Is it ability to fail fast? Is it kind of willing to pivot? I mean, what are some of those characteristics that you'd want to see?
So in the book, I've included 16 of them that emerged from a bunch of interviews. I ended up interviewing officially 33 people and talking with a bunch more. And here are the top 5.
Okay.
The first one is someone who's most likely to be successful as an entrepreneur is first and foremost curious. Okay. They want to learn. They want to understand new things. They want to explore. They're willing to go to places that other people haven't, and they typically come up with questions that other people, for whatever reason, aren't coming up with. Maybe it's that other people can, but they're just focused in other areas. Next, they're action-oriented. You can have somebody who's curious, but if they're, kind of looking in different directions and trying to understand what the opportunities are, but they don't take some of those things and turn them into conversations and then experiments. They don't end up trying things. They don't engage with others to try to build. That isn't going to be the best recipe to be an entrepreneur. Critically, and this is a distinction between entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, at least in degree, is the ability to build bridges. Entrepreneurs can build bridges in an organization. I don't know about you all, but what I can tell you is the organization I'm in, organizations that I've been a part of, you can have dozens, hundreds of people, any one of whom can stop you from creating something new, because change can be so difficult, and there's so many reasons why something else is going to get the time and attention. So someone who can reach out in different directions functionally, different directions within the organization at various levels, someone who can reach outside the company to find some of the best thinking, those are the kinds of people who tend to excel as entrepreneurs. The next one, and this is also critically important, is people who are risk tolerant. If it's important to you to succeed every time, entrepreneurship is the wrong way to go. There are lots of other places that have less risk. But on the other hand, they might not have the same reward or the same benefit in the same way for you. So one of the things that I try to emphasize is there's not much of a value judgment here, good or bad. It's just how are you wired, what works best. But if you have some risk tolerance, you're willing to succeed and you love that, but you're also willing to fail because you know that's part of the process, you're more likely to be successful. And then the last one I want to highlight is that you're optimistic. Entrepreneurs have grounded optimism. Not just, hey, everything's going to work out, because that isn't the way it works. But people who see an opportunity and then they go after it. And when they hit the first or the second or the third hurdle, or the first person in the organization that gets a little territorial, or they were supposed to get funding, but it got delayed 6 months, that isn't going to stop them. They're going to say, hey, I see the vision. I think we can do this. And I'm going to bring people along with me. Those kinds of people tend to be more successful.